I'm Nick Brooks, a California attorney. French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife Bridget have sued Candace Owens for defamation in Delaware over her turning a debunked rumor about the First Lady's gender into a content series. The only question I care about is this: what happens to Candace if she loses the first big motion in this case? In July 2025, the Macrons filed a defamation lawsuit in Delaware Superior Court, case ID N25C-07-194, against Candace Owens LLC, and Georgetown Inc. The Macrons say that Candace Owens did not just criticize them, she told her audience that Bridget Macron is secretly a man, and tied that to claims of deception and abuse of power, and presented it as fact to millions of people. Those are concrete statements about a person's real identity and conduct, which is exactly what defamation law is built for. Here's the entire Delaware timeline you actually need. July 23rd, 2025, the Macrons file in Delaware, and Candace and her Delaware entities are served that same day. This is now a real case, not just internet beef. September 12th, 2025, Candace Teams files a motion to dismiss. The Macrons respond with the first amended complaint. On October 30th, Owens' lawyers file a key motion to dismiss and to strike the first amended complaint. That's the motion the judge is looking at right now. On December 3rd, 2025, the Macrons file their opposition, and the court gives Candace until January 9th, 2026 to file her reply. There's still no hearing date and no trial date on calendar. So we're in a world where all the money and energy is going into this one motion to dismiss and strike. Owens' lawyers even asked for expanded word limits for this motion practice, and the judge let them have the longer briefs. In my entire career, I've never done this. You can, but it reads like, "Judge, I need 12,000 words because I'm about to tell you a very long story," which is not how most judges want to hear from you. It screams, "We're throwing the kitchen sink at this." And they have to, because the Macrons are public figures. They have to prove actual malice, that Candace knew these claims were false or seriously doubted them and pushed them anyway. They're pointing to prior French cases, what they call scientific proof of Bridget's identity, and multiple attempts to correct the record to say she saw this and still turned it into a series. Here's the real danger. If the judge denies that October 30th motion, this case is going to go to discovery. Discovery is where the Macron's lawyers stop arguing about word counts and start digging into Candace's life and business. They can go after internal emails and direct messages about the Macron story, draft scripts and show notes, communications with sources, and contracts or sponsorships tied to those episodes. They can demand analytics and revenue data, how those videos performed, how much ad money they made, which sponsors were attached. That's evidence on both motive and damages. And they can sit Candace and her team down for depositions and ask under oath what they believed, what warnings they got, and why they kept publishing. Now, Candace is not totally exposed. Her lawyers can object to overbroad requests, assert privilege, and get protective orders so sensitive material is kept confidential and filed under seal. But if this motion is denied, Candace does not get to say, "No discovery, that's my private life." In a defamation case like this, the whole point is to figure out what she knew, how she ran the content, and how much she profited from it. So, big picture, Macron's v. Owens is about whether you can turn very specific, very personal factual accusations about a public figure into recurring, monetized content and then call it just commentary when they sue you. All of this, too, amended complaints, big briefs, and word limit games, is happening before there's even a hearing date or a trial date. That's how high the stakes are on this one motion. If you want to see whether the case dies on this motion to dismiss or goes into full discovery, like the video, drop a comment, subscribe with notifications on, and share this video with someone who thinks it's just content, because it's always not the case. Thank you very much.